Good afternoon guys, Dark Purple Shadow here. Today I'm building a PC with a budget of around 1,000 Great British pounds, which in dollars is around $1,200, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know the exchange rates at the top of my head. Let's go straight away. Let's start off with what platform we're going to choose, and I'd say go for AM5. Simply, the reason why I'd go for AM5, quite honestly, is because you want future upgradability of your CPU, and on the AM5 platform, you have the opportunity to snag very good options when it comes to future processor upgrades. I'm talking the 7800X3D or anything else that comes out in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like with AMD pushing new processors soon, maybe the next 9000 series X3Ds are good performance for the money. The next kind of bit that I'll kind of choose is the cooler. Go for the cheapest chips. Thermalright, Peerless Assassin. Can't go wrong with that. Good cooler. Heard good things about it. Haven't used it, obviously. I haven't built anything in a while, but that's what I'd go for. When it comes to a motherboard, there's quite a few choices you can make. There's quite a few cheap ones here. Some of the lowest price, you have the A series motherboards. Stay away. Just go for the B series. It's a bit more money up front, but it'll do you well. And with motherboards, I'd always go for ones that have decent reviews. So if I go forward with the MSI Pro B650M, realistically, if you want Wi-Fi, grab Wi-Fi, but I'd try and go for an ATX motherboard, which is a B650, and just call it a day. So I'm gonna go by ratings. And I think there was quite a few cheap ones towards the top of the ratings. I did see one before. There we go, ATX, £135. Gigabyte, Eagle, looks alright. In terms of comments, got some mediocre comments here. You know, people like the BIOS. I'm using a Gigabyte board. They're ultra durable, if you remember their old kind of marketing language. Next from that, when it comes to RAM, you don't need 32 gigabytes at this price point. Obviously, it would be ideal. The kind of price difference is not huge, but you can get pretty cheap RAM. I wouldn't go for the cheapest RAM. I'd try and go for decent first world latency, under 12 nanoseconds. So anything around that ballpark at a good price, I'm just going to go for it. Got some, oh, that looks very cheap, under £100. Realistically, there we go. £62 for 16 gigabytes of RAM. Do you need 32 gigabytes? No. So 16 is fine. If you want 32 gigabytes, you can always add in 2 more sticks later down the line. There we go, £90 for 1 terabyte. But again, this is not that much faster than 970. It's got a bit of cache. I think the 970 is okay. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just go for that. Should do us okay. You know, we're trying to get the best graphics card for this price point. In terms of a case, go for a simple, cheap case. We're not trying to have a headache here. Got a Montech here. Got a Montech XR, ATX mid tower, 45 liters. Doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go for that Montech case. £50. Can you go wrong? Probably not. And then I'm gonna add in the power supply before we look at the graphics card. Now, in terms of power supply, I wouldn't cheap out here. I'd go for some of the higher rated stuff. I think we should be okay with 650 watts. But it might be worth getting a little bit higher just for the future proofing. If you get a slightly more powerful GPU or CPU, you don't want a headache further down the line. Power supplies you can change them around, but you might as well just buy it and just keep it going. It's not really a part you should be upgrading, in my opinion. When it comes to graphics card, in terms of budget, we've got about £400 in the bank. Obviously, I'm looking at the ratings and I'm just going to see which one comes around. There's a 7700 XT towards the top. There's a 4060 Ti for about £400, which I believe is faster than the 7700 XT. They're pretty much neck and neck, but the 4060 Ti is quite a bit more efficient, but the 7700 XT has a chunkier amount of VRAM. It's a bit of a toss-up. Whichever one kind of works for you, I'd go for. The 4060 Ti is more expensive. I'd probably go Team AMD here. only because that VRAM is a lot more appealing. In terms of budget, we're £5 under. So yeah, obviously there are opportunities here to do a bit more research and figure out what exactly you can save money on without sacrificing performance. But can you really go wrong with any of these parts? They're all pretty good parts. And yeah, that's kind of what I'd go for. And this is a new gen AMD graphics. Just as kind of a final point, there is the possibility of getting used graphics cards. Personally, I'd stay away from this. I just think there's too much risk. But if you're smart, places like eBay, you can get a good deal. I personally stay away from these kind of things. I'm just too risk averse. Obviously, you can get scammed anywhere, even from reputable sellers, but I'd stay away. In terms of used graphics cards, you have 3070s, 3080s, which are in a similar ballpark to the cards I've looked at. You probably won't be getting a good deal on any used 4000 series right now because it's still the newest thing. You can occasionally find decent deals on used 3080s as well. 3080s, obviously they're quite power hungry, but you can get good deals on them. They can be sub £400. I would also look at refurbished models. So refurbished, you're looking at the 7800 XT. You can get some deals for sub £400 as well, and that is a card which is somewhat faster than the 7700 XT. But in all honesty, I'd probably just stick with the 7700 XT when it's brand new, and then further down the line when I have more money, when the 7700 XT is starting to show its age, maybe do a big upgrade then. But yeah, that's what I'd say. Otherwise, guys, please stay tuned, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do. Comment down below what you think. If you think my ideas are stupid, tell me. If you think they're amazing, tell me. If you have your own build suggestions, video suggestions, hit me up. Safe.